I'm just going to let her take it. I'm just going to go ahead and get you all set for that.
Like Michael said, my name is Kim Vincent. I'm the chairperson of the EAC committee. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Our other committee members present are Linda Lloyd, Mary Enemy. Here we have Jacob Breeden, Rose Martha Kate, and Chris Bennett. I would also like to thank Michael Rice and Dr. Eads for their continued support of our committee. Today, we are going to have a short PowerPoint presentation and then the review of the website. And we'll get started. Jacob?
Can I ask you a question? I thought he was on the committee too.
He's the pro temp. He's not.
I'm an ad hoc.
Ad hoc.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah,
My standards are going way down. I thought you were on that.
I'm actually just there to advise him.
Did he say a word the whole time?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's very active.
Very helpful.
He read the book.
I know.
That's what he wrote. What's his name? What do you call him? Rinky. Yeah.
You can all see what we're dealing with.
Very professional in here.
Jacob, if you'd like to make a presentation, please.
All right. Sorry.
So, as Kim said, my name is Jacob Breeden. I'm on the committee and the designated spokesperson for today. So, we have a copy of the charter if you guys would like to see it. We followed the charter relatively to a T as to what our assignment was as a committee and where we went in regards to those assignments. The Environmental Advisory Committee, our first charge was to seek out all available information regarding environmentally sustainable activity within Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle. That's recycling, sustainable living, water usage. It's a very long list of things that the committee is looking to address. After we looked at everything we could find, and I underline could because one of the things we discovered was the information is scattered all over the place, and what was available for just Amarillo was almost non-existent. So we decided, as a committee, our best possible opportunity to educate the public would be to work with the city in order to create a website that opens the door for people to seek out these opportunities for sustainable living. So we voted as a group that the website would be our first project. We started on this a few months back and have been actively working to gather content, work on design, look at flow, have our links checked, have our information checked, working with Michael and the city as far as the legality of everything that we've put within this website. Focuses on recycling, sustainable living, and education. Pretty broad topics we know, and we'll be working.
Did Dr. E participate in that at all?
Absolutely. Right there by our side all the way on. He associates with hippies. I don't know if you guys know.
Good.
Somebody has to, right? We've got to hang out with the riffraff.
You wouldn't fit in.
So,
I had one story to tell. I used to tell my mom always that she was a hippie. I go, Mom, I know you were a hippie. And she goes, I was not. I certainly was. She would get all sensitive about that. I just was hanging her on.
You were asked another day.
He was a flower child.
I certainly was not.
I'm one of those apples that didn't fall from far from the tree. The child of hippies. If you go to the Amarillo website currently and search for recycling, sustainability, any of those issues, this is all you'll actually come up with. This paragraph is in its entirety what's currently available outside of the PowerPoint presentation of what the city states is available for recycling opportunities. Now, there is so much more out there, so much more availability, and that's what we would like to address. The purpose of this is not to force a lifestyle or to push any particular agenda, but to make this information available to people who have an interest in this type of activity. So working with the staff, we created this website, which we'll be able to run through here in just a minute, in order to create awareness of current sustainability and recycling projects so people know what is currently going on. We also have links to things that have happened in the past, and we'll be adding, as time goes by, things that are going on in the future. So we want to cover everything that we can. We want to provide citizens with a forum for asking questions, filing complaints. There's an area of the website where they can contact any of us via the city if they have questions or concerns. We've designated, I guess Donna will be the one who will be receiving those emails and funneling them to people who have expertise in the field of that question. Our idea behind this is to be able to answer people's questions and concerns quickly and efficiently and accurately. We want to educate again about past, current, and future environmental issues. And in summary, we hope this will create awareness, increase opportunity, and educate the citizens of Amarillo about current and future environmental sustainability issues. The three basic questions when it comes to recycling, which we know is a big concern for a lot of people involved and sort of initially was the core of this project, are what can be recycled, where can it be recycled, and why can it be recycled? Why should I recycle it? We've tried to answer those questions as quickly and efficiently as possible, primarily off of the homepage. But then we move on into further issues, again with sustainability, because this area of the Panhandle is so limited in certain resources. We want to have access for people to be able to learn about that limitation and how they can work within it. So, promotion of this website, as we said, we'll be doing a press conference next week for an approval of all the content. We're also working with the Travis Middle School Green Team as far as producing 15-second, 30-second public service announcements for radio. We'd also like to work towards using some television time. My radio station, I work for High Plains Public Radio. I'll be producing, recording some of these PSA spots as well, with language to drive some awareness to this website, drive people to the city website. We'll be tracking those hits, seeing what will happen. Then we're looking for business, civic, and private partners who are willing to work with us. We're a zero-budget committee, so everything we do, which is a good thing, a bunch of hippies on the committee, has to be done with no money. And we're actually very good at that. But we also know that there are businesses and people within the community who do want to show their initiative when it comes to sustainable living, and working with us and promoting this particular website and these ideas is a good way for them to do that, to put their sort of best foot forward when it comes to environmentally sustainable development. Working with public radio, we'll be working with other TV stations and radio stations as they make themselves available or agree that they want to work with us. So, following the launch of this website, and we've already actually started into this process, the Environmental Advisory Committee is developing language for consideration for the developers of the Comprehensive Master Plan in regards to sustainable development. We're just now in the beginning phases of that, so more will come with that as time goes by. And what we're looking for is language that can be inserted into the development of this plan that looks at, I guess, green future for Amarillo. We're also going to be planning a series of awareness events for the spring, some spring cleanup days, partnerships with EarthFest. Vincent's going to be doing a lot of that work. We want to do, again, words are only so important. Action is really what matters when it comes to this type of work. The committee is filled with people who believe in action and believe in proactive approach to this type of living, and we're all working to try to build this up and make this move forward and actually do something. We don't want to just throw this website up, call it a day. Website will be proactively updated, activities will be proactive, we'll be moving forward to try to make a difference in the community as these opportunities arise. So this is just the first step. The website is the first step. It gave us an opportunity to learn how we work together as a committee, make sure we're following our charter, make sure we're working with the city, make sure we're building awareness, doing things according to all of the things within our charter. The website was a good project to get us started, but we are moving forward into sort of, I guess, bigger, better, and grander ideas. So we would, as a committee, like to say thank you for the opportunity to serve. This committee has been a wonderful experience for most of us. We're a couple months away from the end of our charter. We hope that the committee continues. We hope that there's still support for this type of committee as time goes by. And we look for your feedback. This is something we don't want to do alone. We have we're not insistent upon doing it alone. We want feedback from citizens, we want commissioners, from anybody who has ideas or concepts. This is much larger than the 12 people who make up this committee. This is something we're all looking towards, the future of Amarillo. I want my kids to grow up in Amarillo. That requires a little bit of work on all of our parts. So that's all we're hoping to do, is give people a place to go, to be able to see what is going on, and to get the type of information we know that they're looking for. Before we start filling with the website, several of us from the committee came today to be able to field questions. I'm happy to field as many, or point you guys to the right direction if you have a question or concern at this point.
What do y'all determine on recycling, the cost and the benefits?
Are you talking curbside?
Yes.
Curbside recycling is actually something that initially was discussed, but we're right now looking at current opportunities.
Okay, y'all are doing that.
We're not talking about curbside.
No, curbside recycling is something the city had already evaluated, and at this point,
It's not part of their charge.
it's not part of our charter.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, Linda, what is sustainable living?
Well, I could talk from now till next week on that.
Something I can afford until next month.
Okay, hold on. Let's Rose Martha.
So this gentleman asked me.
Okay. So as far as sustainability, we're looking at proper use of resources over the long term. How do you manage land? How do you manage building projects? How do you manage water in a way that the resources are being replenished at least at a similar pace to which they're being used? There's a lot of issues in regards to that in our area, especially when it comes to land use and water usage. It's real easy to overuse. So sustainability has, on the skimming just the surface of that topic that, again, Linda can speak for at length. Now, as far as, again, the curbside recycling, our charge was to look at available opportunities. Curbside is currently not available. There's mixed beliefs, depending on who you ask on the committee, of curbside or non. What we do want to make sure that everyone does understand is that this project, this committee, and this website goes beyond the concept of recycling. It is a part of a smaller whole that we're hoping to open people's eyes up to. This is the homepage of, and again, we're in beta as far as testing of this site. When you do go to the site, which I believe is recycle.amarillo.gov, you will find a message explaining who we are and what we do. Again, the basic questions right there. What can I recycle? Where can I recycle? Why should I care? And then we have a kids corner, which has activities, games, and we'll have projects, craft projects, and eventually teachers corner for lesson plans and things like that. Over here on the drop down are all of the various elements that the site has. Contact us, which again goes to the city, the education page. Let's see if these are active. And then each one of these has a drop-down menu. So if you go to the education page, these are various cycles of product, the recycling process itself. We also have provided a reading list based on age. We'll be adding adult reading, things like that. Again, just things that we think would be of interest to the public. The other thing, and this is one of the primary ones we looked at, when you go to recycling, one of the biggest concerns that we run into is people don't know where to take the recycling and they don't know what they can recycle. Kim, what did you say you're taking in? 100 tons?
We're taking in with the Allied Waste drop sites. There's 7 in Amarillo and 2 in Canyon. We're taking about 100 tons a month of number 1, number 2 plastics, aluminum can, newspaper, magazines, and then office paper.
And where are you taking that?
We're taking it back to my facility, the Allied Waste Recyclery at 10th and Arthur.
So we do see that as obviously a vested interest. 100 tons a month of product going into these bins. One of the problems Allied Waste suffers with is people cram all different kinds of plastics. They cram cardboard into the newspaper bins. People will leave glass next to the bins because they assume that if they leave it, they'll eventually be recycled, rather than what really happens is it gets thrown away because there's no opportunity. So down here we have the basics, why it's important, issues about the garbage crisis, the reason we think recycling is important, and then we have drop-off locations. This map is still in its testing phase. Right now it just has the Allied Waste Recycling. It takes a minute for the pins to pop up. The city pins will be added.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
On that, can you make money on the recycling, or?
Yep.
Okay.
We've been, Allied Waste actually purchased the site that we're in from a family in 1996. And we're just doing that right now. You're welcome to come tour anytime.
Yeah.
Give lots of tours.
Are you going to?
This was a trip.
What will happen as someone clicks on one of these drop sites, it's going to tell them exactly what's accepted. There'll be a photograph of the drop location itself, so that people do know, yes, I can take my 1 and 2 plastics, yes, I can take my aluminum. Same with the city sites. We will list those and what is acceptable for those locations. Then we also have a recycle list. Now, this is one of the more difficult things in Amarillo for sure to accomplish, is where do you drop all of these various items. Everything on this list can and should be recycled, and every one of these items on the list has a place locally that you can take to be recycled. So what we're trying to open people's eyes to is that there are multiple locations. So say you click on clothing, it's going to drop down and give you a list of local establishments that will accept clothing. This list will change, it will grow. You can scroll straight down through it. Anything, again, that can or should be recycled in any way is available on this list. And what we want is for people, when they have a question, they go to the city site first, so they see that the city is trying to serve their needs. Doesn't mean we're trying to, drag people to lug their carpet padding down to someplace to be recycled, but if they want to recycle, we want them to have that opportunity. And we think as time goes by, as people see that there is ease in this process, it's not a difficult thing to do, but it does benefit us as a city as a whole, benefits our environment, benefits our citizenry, that this will become more and more common, that we'll start seeing way more tonnage of things that are not going to our landfill, but instead going into recycling.
And I want to make a comment. In Amarillo, we made it so easy just to go to the alley and throw stuff in the garbage, into the can. In so many cities, you are forced to recycle. I mean, they just, if you don't, they will fine you. And I talked to Michael saying, if we don't bring the trash truck down the alley quite so often, we could save. Well, we could save. And also, people would be more aware of recycling.
What about
Don't
they
do
get
that at
fussy?
Christmas time. I was assaulted.
Yeah.
Well, we know in Amarillo doesn't like to be told what to do. I mean, we're just very independent here. But it's not going to hurt any of us to recycle newspaper, aluminum, and plastics. Plastics 1 and 2.
How do they know if you are not putting plastics and different things in another container?
Well, Mike lives in San Francisco, and of course there it's
And they write a ticket right at the time.
Really?
Now, before we get too deep into that, just make sure nobody's looking to, the committee is not recommending that Amarillo citizens be forced to recycle at any time in the near future.
Good.
What we are hoping to provide is just a resource, a center for information.
That's good.
A lot of the people in town do have an interest in this type of work, and we are going to be providing information as far as water catchment, how to capture water off your roof to water your plants, information as far as how to tend your garden in a proper way without chemicals. This website actually does go very, very deep, and there's even an entire section under the sustainability. If you want to find out, this will be launched next week. This will teach you everything you need to know. We have an idea about sustainability. What does it mean? And then up here underneath our link, we have the basic principles, an entire section, which isn't live yet, on composting, use of rainwater. Okay, these aren't live yet. All of these, the content is there. I guess the links just aren't active. But when you go to the use of rainwater, there is a description on how to capture rainwater, why you should capture rainwater, how much you can actually capture. If you guys want to see a great water catchment, go out to Wildcat Bluff and look at the gigantic tubs of rainwater that they are able to capture just simply off their rooftops.
600 gallons per 1,000 square feet of rooftop.
Yeah.
From what? For how fast?
For 1 inch rain, 600 gallons of 1,000 square feet of roof.
Is that a metal roof?
Or any roof, but metal's the easiest.
When you run into some issues, if you have shingled roof, you got to be able to filter
How
a
big
little
a
bit.
container do you have?
There's all different kinds of containers, but we have out at Wildcat, we have basically fiberglass.
That's good. That's real good to have fiberglass tank.
Yeah.
Important.
Well, and you can build something for your home for next to nothing, and that's the type of thing we want to provide to people. We'll be watering our garden off of a tiered trash can system that you can build from Lowe's for $250, and it doesn't even need a pump. It's gravity fed, and you can water your plants. What a great way to save resources. So what I guess in summary. What you have in this committee is a group of citizens who are actively engaged in this lifestyle, who are actively interested in this lifestyle, and in ways that this lifestyle can be shared with the rest of citizens who are interested in it. You can save a significant amount of money with this type of thing. You can save a significant amount of garbage. You can learn how to reuse. You can learn. There's so much that goes into this, and what we're trying to do is share our knowledge and our passion with the people of the city, with the commission, with anybody who's willing to give us 5 minutes of their time. We're happy to talk to them about this and to try to point people in a direction that points out that this isn't some big crazy conspiracy. This is just good, clean, wholesome living. And that's the way we want to look at it. I'll be happy again to open it for more questions if you guys have, and I know there's a lot of other people who need the floor today. So we are ready to launch. We have about a week of review of this content. We know the lawyers have to look at it. We would like to launch on the 19th with a press conference and making this site public. Following that, we would like to follow up with the PSAs on the radio, some springtime events along with Earth Fest and things like that to sort of raise awareness that this is happening. Again, something like Earth Fest, you have 6,000 people or so who show up who all have a vested interest in exactly this type of activity. we'd like to use those opportunities to point people to this site, to point people towards what the city is doing to benefit the environment and to look towards a sustainable Amarillo.
Great.
So that's
Very great. You did a great presentation. It really was.
Anybody else?
Anybody? Dr. Reed, you have anything to say?
Well, I just have been very impressed with the members of this committee. You know, we see how different committees work, like the AEDC and like zoning. This committee is hands-on. They have worked hard. They do a lot of work outside of actually the committee meetings and reviewing things. It's all done electronically by email. They've just been an impressive group of people to work with, and I want to personally thank all of y'all for what you've done. Michael has done yeoman's work on behalf of the city.
Yes.
He's been great. And who's your computer guy who's helping with all the programs?
Adam Stone.
Yes.
Adam Stone.
Substantially, yeah.
Done great work.
So you do all this through computers?
Pretty much. We meet,
So you don't have a bunch of papers? This might be something. We wouldn't have all this. How many trees could we say?
We're trying to
Actually,
get
one of those types of
Kindle.
statistics we could actually tell you.
Yeah.
We could look at your paper usage and show you how you could actually save a significant amount.
Here, Jared's about to say something. Are you about the Kindle deal?
I was going to ask, I found two of them, and I don't have one, so I don't know. Do we get the small screen or the big screen?
I have the big one.
Yeah, the big screen?
With the PDF. They just came out with a brand new one yesterday.
Well, there's
That way you don't have to
I
do
just
all
got an
that.
email.
one of them looked like a screen that, I don't know, probably about this size.
I don't know. Is yours that
That's the
size?
size of your screen, Magic?
No, it's not that big. Plus you can tap on it.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys wanted to look at it, you really can look at the amount of paper and statistically how much money you could save over time. We do it within my organization all the time. Every email I send is one less piece of paper, one less stamp, one less envelope that I'm spending money on. And just over the course of 2 years of developing a more sustainable mailing program, I'm able to save between $15,000 and $18,000 a year just in printing and postage costs alone.
The city does have a recycling program.
Yes.
We pick it up down the way.
Or paper.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're not in favor of the Kindle?
No, I think it's correct. I'm just saying if you have to use the paper, you need to recycle.
But, recycling, again, is just part of it. And if you can figure out how not to have to use the paper in the first place, it's even better,
Like my dad.
Remember the 3 hours
I shouldn't have said because I got
reduce
one.
when you recycle.
Right.
Reduce, recycle.
Right, how many of these could be printed front and back the next time,
Glass is a big
Reused.
problem.
Yeah. Too bad
And it's
Tootin Totem doesn't take that. You remember they used to pay for the
Right.
bottles?
When you take
I used to put them in a wagon a wagon and
Right,
pull it
me
down. Tootin Totem.
Well, guys, these meetings are open. Again, our goal in this is to get community engagement. We want every interested party to come to the table. This is about having conversations. So anytime you guys want to swing by, happy to have your input. You got Dr. Eads, but, he's not the only one.
He doesn't always
Get
speak
involved.
up. You gotta help him out.
Well, and a good
Sometimes
bit
it's
of
better
focus
just to be quiet,
is always a positive thing.
Say that again, please. Say that again, please. I don't think he heard you.
I don't know what he meant by that.
We definitely want to thank Michael, thank Adam, thank you guys for the time today. And
Thank
again,
you.
We're here if you guys have questions.
We know it's been a lot of work, and gosh, y'all been on this since last May.
Well, we've started multiple projects, so this is one of many.
Good job.
Good.
Good work.
Very good job.
Very nice. Thank you.
Good job.
Did you see Mr. Taylor's ears perk up when he said you could save money?
And that's a tax man.
I all want to say that. All right. Well, thanks, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week. Very good. Thank you.
Performance. And not only do that, but you now have an audit trail that you can go back and verify that. I often tell customers, and I think Ronald Reagan talked about this in dealings with the Soviet Union. We like to try to trust contractors, but it's a case of trust but verify. So they'll report information. We're going to believe that that's probably good information, but we're also going to go back and we're going to verify that it's good information. We're going to make sure it's correct. And that's part of discharging your responsibility to the public to make sure that this is accountable to the public. You have protection. You have protection from a number of sources. One of the major protections you have is AMR is the largest ambulance provider.